Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is New Haven Rail Guy bringing you more Train Simulator 2019. In this episode, we are going to be doing a scenario on the Metro North Railroad from Grand Central Terminal to Connecticut. I forget exactly what the stop is called, but it should be fun. It's going to be a little bit of a commuter run. It's on part of the Northeast Corridor, and it actually is visually quite accurate to the real thing. I know this because I make the trip alongside the Northeast Corridor at least twice a year. I live in central Pennsylvania, and my home state is Rhode Island, so I go up there to visit, and Interstate 95 goes alongside the Northeast Corridor. So a lot of the scenery and stuff is very accurate, and it's really cool. So I'm glad they were able to recreate that for this game. What you're seeing now is the loading screen, obviously. So, alright. Here we are. This is the inside of Grand Central Terminal. This will be our departure point. We will be utilizing a GE P32 AC DM locomotive. Dual mode, diesel electric. Afternoon, engineer. Today you are tasked with taking this passenger service from here at Grand Central, finishing at South Norwalk. That's the station. Allow the passengers to board here before leaving. Will do. Alright, so I'm going to bring up the HUD. We're going to do as he said and load the passengers. Alright. So I wanted to disable both of those systems because if you don't disable those systems, the alerter can go off, and if you forget to reset the alerter, you're going to find yourself running into some problems as the train will go into braking automatically, and you don't want that. So, as we wait for the passengers here, we can take a look at the train. Very nice. We've got some Metroliner cars, and on the very end, we have got a cab car. Cab control car. Which is very, very nice. And that's for push-pull mode. There's a weird sort of line here. It's like a glare. You can see it. I don't know what that's all about, but oh well. Okay, it looks like we got clear signals, so we're going to release the brakes. Reverser is in full. And let's notch it up and go. Hit the bell first. And away we go. You see an inbound train. Now, what's interesting about New York State, or specifically New York City, is you cannot run diesel locomotives into Grand Central or Penn Central. Oh, gosh, I always do that. Penn Central, Grand Central. Grand Central and Penn Station. Grand Central is to the north, Penn is to the south. Both stations are, I guess, underground. And you cannot run diesel locomotives down here for pretty obvious reasons. Number one, there's really no ventilation. But number two, eventually that smog would just cause problems. So they installed third rails here. You can see, you can't see my cursor, I have it disabled, but those things alongside the track that look almost spiked, those are third rails. And these locomotives can run on an electric motor with a third rail shoe that reaches down there, or third rail shoes, sometimes there's multiple. They reach down there, and they get the electricity, and that's what generates power, obviously. Now, in this scenario, I am running in diesel as far as I'm aware, but that's only because for some weird reason, if I run on electric, it just doesn't start, doesn't get going. It's almost as if the third rail just doesn't reach. Like, it's saying it's available now, so I'm actually going to switch over to it. Alright, we are green to go. Green to proceed. It's flashing. Oh, we are speeding. Okay. Gotta watch that. I'm gonna put the brakes on just a little bit. There we go. Not bad, not bad. You just have to pay attention. It's gonna take me a little while to get out of the tunnel here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut here, and I will see you guys once we exit the tunnel and make our way to our first stop. Alright? See you in just a few seconds. I can see the light. Yes, we're back, and we're finally exiting the tunnel. That took probably about 6 to 7 minutes. Just working the throttle here, being careful, because we've got some speed limit changes. It drops down to 45, and it goes back up to 60, then it goes down to 40, then it goes to 35. Oh, gosh. These track speed limits will be the death of me. So here we are, leaving Grand Central, on the high level of track. We'll stop at Harlem 125th Street. There we see either a stopped or an oncoming. I can't quite tell which it is. As you see the building pop in. Oh, that's an oncoming. Alright, coming up to the 40-mile-an-hour zone. Just barely be able to make it here. Gonna start applying the brakes soon. On the old bell. Start applying the brake OS. Coast just a little bit more. And there we go. Turn up that bell. Look at our beautiful train. Harlem 125th Street. Harlem 125th Street. Didn't really see anybody get on. Fun fact, I've seen a lot of Railfans come up here, at least on YouTube. And there is a lot of traffic, both Amtrak and Metro North, going into Grand Central. Okay, looks like we're all set. Release the brakes. And onward we go. Got a pretty generous speed limit coming out of here. I'm gonna crank it up a little. Turn off that bell now that I've cleared the platform. Now, I don't know the actual regulations, but based on what I've seen, you want to use your bell until the locomotive has cleared the platform. I don't know if that's an FRA thing or not. It could be, but maybe that's just procedure based on different rail lines. Really just got to keep your eye on your speed. I'm going to assume this is the Hudson River. I don't think I would be too far off the mark there. You're probably wondering why I switched out of cab view. Just for a change of scenery, so you guys have something different to look at. I'll go back and forth. Actually, you know what? I need to. Yeah, I'm switching back to diesel power. We got about 11 miles to go before we reach our next station stop. You guys look carefully, you can see the detail is just fantastic. Got the GE integrated function display labeled. This is a GE locomotive after all, P32 ACDM. Alright, now the speed limit's up to 40, so we can crank it a little bit more. Always got to watch that speed. The easiest penalties to get are speeding penalties, because you can very easily forget. And you don't want to speed in general, because last thing you want is to derail. That does happen and has happened many times before. In fact, on the Metro North, just a couple years ago, there was an accident on a sharp curve that was taken too fast. Very unfortunate. 4 people died, I believe. The rest were injured. It's a shame. But accidents happen. In cars, trains, planes, boats. Boats in particular sink. You'll see a lot of stations along this route, but we won't be stopping at every one. Thank goodness. Just our designated stops. Alright, so we're coming up to 75 here. We'll be able to really crank it then. So what I'll do is I'll crank her up, let her go for a little bit, and then I'll cut the video until we're closer to New Rochelle. Because otherwise this video would be way, 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 way too long. Alright. Let's crank her up. I don't know how long this section of 75 is going to be. I don't remember. I've only done this scenario once. I silver started because of some speeding penalties. Go back to the exterior view here. Very nice. A lot of people say American trains don't look good. I disagree. I disagree. They have character all their own. Alright, so I will see you guys when we're closer to the station. Okie dokie, folks. Here we are. Just a few feet from New Rochelle. And I gotta start braking for the speed limit here. And still got a penalty. That is fantastic. Pretty sharp curve here. That's probably why they want me to take it at 30 miles an hour. But as you can see, we are in overhead catenary territory. This is basically the overhead wires, and I'm speeding again. Wow, my score is going to be abysmal. But we're coming into the station anyway, so oh well. Maybe our timeliness bonus will make up for some of this failure. And stop. Well, pretty nice station, big old parking garage. I assume it's fairly accurate. I don't remember when I took the train from Philadelphia to my hometown station. I don't really remember some of these, and I don't know if this is on the section of Northeast Corridor that I was on, if we've merged that far yet. But I can get ready to go. All aboard! Conductors don't yell that anymore, I don't think. Now that they have radios. Yeah. Fancy technology. Next stop, Greenwich, in 11 miles. It's going to be a while till we make it there, folks. And I think we are coming up on our first Amtrak train. I think. What it appears to be. Always forget to turn the bell off. Every time. Still gotta keep my eye on that speed. Don't want any more penalties. I mean, let's be honest, people. This was not going to be a perfect run. And yes, I believe that is an Amtrak train. Profile looks like either an Acela or an ACS, but it's definitely an ACS 64. The new one by Siemens. To replace the AEM7, may it rest in peace. You'll actually see some AEM7 models on this. I'll try to point them out when they show up. But the active models are all powered by ACS 64s. And he stopped. Is there a station stop here, or is he just waiting for a signal? Looks like he's just waiting for a signal. Alright, well, we got a ways to go, so I'll see you guys when I see you. Okay, we are coming up on Greenwich or Greenwich. Some places it's Greenwich, some places it's Greenwich. In Rhode Island, we had East Greenwich. It was spelled Greenwich, but we pronounced it Greenwich for whatever reason. Anyways, we're coming up on the next station. So there are only 2 more stations before the last one. And then we will be done with this run. It's a fairly long run, which is why I wanted to do a video of it. And she's coming up. This is the part that always seems tricky. Getting things lined up. And stop. Bell off. And load. Load/unload. Greenwich, 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 Greenwich. Anyone for Greenwich? I see one guy's phasing in. You never really see people coming out. That's one animation that they missed out on. People just kind of phase in. I love how my conductor there has a bit of a mustache. I don't know what my deal is, but onward to Stamford, station I actually have been to in real life. Stopped twice. Amtrak round trip. Looking at a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. The bell off, and away we go. Oh, there's an oncoming Metro North. It's funny, some of them are cab car forward and some of them aren't. In reality, a lot of commuter railroads have it set a certain way. Anyways, I'll see you guys at the next station stop. Okay, and here we are again. Just entering into Stamford. Already got the train slowed down to a significant speed. Gonna notch up just a little bit just to have a little bit more power going in. You can see the speedometer's freaking out there because I only notched up a little bit. And this is incredibly accurate. Right down to the stripe on the overhead. Wow. And there's Interstate 95. Oh man. Alright, Stamford. I mean, this is incredible. Wow, even the station signs. Look at that. Unbelievable. Whoever did this is top-notch stuff. There's probably a couple inconsistencies here and there, but overall, really accurate. Now, when I was aboard Amtrak coming through here, it was either here or at New Haven, but there was a lady who didn't have her ticket. And so she had to ride in a cafe car, and she was making a big deal about it. So, just an interesting tidbit for you. A lot of inexperienced train travelers. I was one myself. But always make sure you have your tickets and documentation whenever you ride any train, whether it's commuter, whether it's Amtrak, whether it's something foreign. Always have your documentation and proof of purchase on you. I wasn't quite sure whether you'd say proof of purchase or proof of ridership. That's the word I'm looking for. You can see here's an AEM7 model with both pantographs up for some unknown reason, and same with the other one down there. Okie dokie. 7 miles to our final stop at South Norwalk, and I will see you guys there. Look at that AM7. I guess they're trying to go for the look of finally retired. So I'll see you guys at the next stop. Alrighty folks, we are coming up to our final station stop, South Norwalk Track 4. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for sticking around for my incoherent commentary. Oh man, I need to do this more regularly in order to not sound so bad. But yes, it's been a fun journey for sure, but it has almost come to an end. But fret not, there will be more. If you guys enjoyed this, there will certainly be more. And I love this because ever since I was a boy I dreamed of being an engineer, but reality is often very cruel, and unfortunately there's no way I could be one. So that's unfortunate, but hey, the closest I can get is simulation. I'll take it. And so will many other rail fans. The unfortunate reality of the railroads today is that they're not exactly the greatest to work for, from what I hear, at least in North America. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but in the United States, they're so badly regulated. It's just not an enjoyable experience to work for the railroads. Not like it would have been. And I'm not saying it was always an enjoyable experience. I mean, work is work. And here we are. South Norwalk. South Norwalk, last stop. At least for me, then another engineer will take over. Alrighty folks, well that is going to do it for this. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short little commuter run. Sorry again for the stumbling commentary. I feel I always have to apologize for it, even if it's not really necessary. But thank you all very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this journey. And will enjoy the next ones to come. Another engineer will take over here to continue the service down the Danbury branch line. Well done is a service well provided. A service well provided. Alright, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all further down the line. God bless. Have a good one. Peace.